Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to review Explorer Scrooge and let you know if he's worth getting or not. To start things off, his drop rates is going to be 36.36%, which is identical to Explorer Donald, and it's a lot easier to get Explorer Scrooge compared to Indiana Jones. And the ability description for Explorer Scrooge is clears all Tsums in the center. This gameplay that you're currently watching right now is a skill level 1 game demonstration. Play with the 5-4 boost on. No other boost is on except the 5-4. And to activate his ability, you will need to clear a total of 16 copies of him off the screen. 16 is considered on the lower end, so you should be able to activate a lot of abilities per game. The minimum score is 110 with a maximum score of 992. So when it comes to scoring, it's pretty good for minimum score, but maximum score is not that great. But all of the Scrooges that are in this game is meant for coins and not necessarily for score or for their abilities. And if you want to get this Tsum to skill level 6, you will need to get a total of 29 copies of him either in the premium box or using skill tickets on him. But if you take a look at the skill chart, you see that Explorer Scrooge actually has two components to his ability. Every single time you level him up, you're going to increase the skill range as well as the coins that's going to be gained. Now, the skill range is in reference to that center burst or the clear in the center. And also the coins that you're going to gain as well is going to increase a little bit. It's not going to be something that's very evident, but you're likely going to get a couple of more coins as you level up the skill level. And this coin gains is in reference to the coins that you catch with the bag. Now, before I go any further, if you guys are enjoying this type of content where I review Tsums, do monthly leaks, go over the selection boxes and pickup capsule, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your subscription really helps me out a lot. I also have a Discord server, so if you're looking for a community of players who also plays this game, or if you need help with the game, consider scanning this QR code on the screen to join my Discord server. I will also have invite links in the video description down below, so check that out if you can't scan this code on the screen. The invite link should take you directly to my Discord server. Alright, so let's take a look at all 6 of the skill levels, starting with skill level 1, 2, and 3. And the difference here between the first 3 skill levels is the skill range as well as the amount of coin boost that you're going to get. Starting with skill level 1, the skill range is going to be extra small. Skill level 2 will be small, and finally for skill level 3, both components will be medium. So to start things off, there's a couple of things that you need to know about Explorer Scrooge before activating his ability. First of all is when you activate his ability, the screen does freeze. And what I mean by that is once you activate the ability, the Tsums in the background will freeze in the position that you activated the ability. And because Explorer Scrooge's ability is a center bursting Tsum, if you don't have any Tsums in the middle or if you have gaps in the middle, then you're not going to be able to maximize the amount of chains that you're going to get from the ability. So the first thing I recommend you to do is you want to make sure that the center of the screen has a lot of Tsums before activating the ability. If you don't, you're going to experience some gaps in between the chains, therefore earning you a little bit less coins than you would if you didn't leave gaps in the middle. And then the second thing is that the bag that comes out during the ability time, you can actually move them left to right. And the objective of moving them left to right is to allow you to catch the coins as well as the gems that fall from the top of the screen. The speed of the gems falling and the coins falling is going to be remaining consistent throughout all 6 of the skill level, and there's always going to be 6 items that fall from top to bottom. Usually it's 3 coins and 3 gems, so that stays pretty consistent as well. The orders do get mixed up from time to time, so it doesn't really matter, but as long as you catch all 6 of the items, you're going to get a perfect clear. And let me demonstrate that by showing you a side-by-side comparison of the abilities activated at the same time. So this is going to be in full speed, and just to call things out, I am recording this at different frame rates, so that's why it seems a little bit off, but technically the timing is actually exactly the same. So you see here there are going to be 6 items that falls, 3 coins and 3 gems. Now you see here it's a little bit off, so don't worry about the timing, it's actually supposed to be the same. It's just that my phone was probably overheating and it didn't record the same frame rate. But if you take a look at skill level 1, I got a chain of 13. Skill level 2, I got a chain of 15, and skill level 3, I got a chain of 21. So as long as you are able to catch all 6 of the items that fall, you will always get a perfect ability, and it's going to maximize the amount of burst area. And if you don't end up catching all 6 of the items that fall, instead of a perfect clear, you're going to get great or good. So try to aim to get all 6 of them if you can. Moving on to skill level 4, 5, and 6, and at these higher skill level, the skill range is going to increase significantly. At skill level 4, the skill range is going to be large, skill level 5, extra large, and extra large for skill level 6. And also the coin boost is going to increase a little bit as well. And it's not really a boost, maybe I would call it like a coin add. You only get a couple of more coins compared to if you didn't have the boost. Now the strategy for these higher skill level is pretty consistent with skill level 1, 2, and 3. However, it does become more important that your entire screen is fully settled before activating the ability. And that's because the skill range does increase, so whenever you get a perfect rating for your burst, that circle becomes a lot bigger. So it becomes more important to not have gaps in the center area. Once you get to skill level 6, you pretty much need the entire screen with the exception of the outer edge. Probably within one Tsum is okay. So if you take a look at skill level 6 right now, there is that one bubble there. It's not going to get in the way because it's on the complete edge. So anything that is on the very edge is okay to have, and you can also leave it, like the bubble that you see there right now for skill level 6. That's completely okay, but you don't want the bubbles that are in the middle. That's going to be in the way from making a perfect chain. Let's also take a look at a side-by-side comparison of the abilities active at the same time at these higher skill level. Now take a closer look at skill level 4. I did end up having a bubble in the middle, which means that this burst isn't necessarily the most efficient. But very similar to skill level 1, 2, and 3, you're going to get 6 items that will drop from top to bottom. And it's always going to clear the center area, but take a look at the skill range here. You might not be able to tell the difference between the sizes here between skill level 4 and 5 and 5 and 6. And that's because the increase is very minimal. It's about like 2 increases every single time you activate the ability, so it's not significant. However, it is important to note that you also will get coins added every single time you activate the ability. So your objective essentially is to activate as many abilities per game and always try to catch all 6 of the objects that fall from top to bottom. For these abilities specifically, for skill level 4, I ended up with a chain of 20, and also there was a bubble in the middle, so likely I could have got a little bit more. Skill level 5, I got a chain of 22, and skill level 6, I got a chain of 24. So the increases are going to be very minimal and you might not be able to feel them, but they're there, it's very minimal. So overall, I think Explorer Scrooge is an okay Tsum. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you to spend all of your coins or even your skill tickets to level up Explorer Scrooge. During his ability, you kind of have to work for the ability. So that's why I don't necessarily really like this type of Tsum. Very similar to abilities that you need to make really long chains. I'm also not a fan of those. I'm personally a fan of burst Tsums. Essentially during the ability time, you just burst the Tsums and they get you a lot of coins and a decent amount of chain. I like those Tsums more. With Explorer Scrooge, you kind of have to work for your ability during the ability time, and coin earnings isn't really worth it. So let me show you guys the results at the end of these gameplays. At skill level 1, I ended up with 1,182, which is on the lower end, and with 2.8 million points, so not that great for score and not that great for coins. And like I mentioned earlier, you wouldn't be using Scrooge or Explorer Scrooge to get a high score. So we'll just focus on the coins here. It's not going to be until skill level 4 where you can use the 5, 4, and coin boost. So if you are planning to level up your Explorer Scrooge, I recommend you to just get him to skill level 4 and stop there. The increase on coin earnings to skill level 5 and 6 is not worth the investment. I think getting him at skill level 4, if you use the 5, 4 and the coin boost, that's already very sufficient. And you wouldn't be using Explorer Scrooge for a score either, so getting him to skill level 4 is already very good. So that's my review of Explorer Scrooge. I hope that you guys found this video helpful or at least entertaining. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching.